What is going on, math superstars? My name is Mr. Peterson. We are about ready to introduce our first lesson. This is using ratios to compare quantities. So before we get started, I would like you to download the graphic organizer for this teaching lesson. You can see the link below. You can always pause the video right now, download the PDF file for the graphic organizer so we can get started. So the question is this: what is a ratio? So the technical definition is this: it's a comparison. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our eyes, we're going to make comparisons of any two quantities that is used to represent a relationship within or between sets. And so a little illustration below, in set 1 we have some sandwiches and bottles, and in set 2 we have footballs and tennis balls. And so we can actually compare the quantities within one of these sets or between both of these sets, and so we can make some different statements about that. We're going to describe 3 ways to write ratios. So the first one is we can write a ratio like a fraction. So we can have quantity A over quantity B. The second way we can write the ratio is using the word to. So we can put quantity A to quantity B. And the second way we can write ratios is using a colon. So we have quantity A colon quantity B. And so there's 4 ways that we are going to compare ratios. And so the first way we're going to do this is we're going to do a part to whole in the same set comparison. So let's work this out together. What is the ratio of sandwiches in set 1 to the total number of items in set 1? And so take a moment right now, pause the video, come up with your answer, and then unpause it and we'll talk about it. So our answer is, for every 3 sandwiches, there are 7 items in the set. So we simplified our answer. So we know that there were 6 sandwiches in set 1, and there were 14 total items. And so when we simplified it, we knew that 2 goes into both of those, 2 goes into 6, 2 goes into 14, and we come up with 3 sandwiches to 7 items using the word to. And then you can see the 2 other illustrations, 2 other ways we can write ratios: 3 colon 7, and in the fraction form 3 over 7. So that's a real simple part to whole in the same set comparison using ratios. Now we can do part to part in the same set. So let's ask this question: what is the ratio of sandwiches to soda bottles? And take a moment right now, pause the video, come up with your answer, then unpause it to see your answer. Okay, make sure you simplify your answer. We can come up with, for every 3 sandwiches, there are 4 bottles. So we write that as 3 sandwiches to 4 bottles. So we know that there's 6 sandwiches in the set and 8 total bottles. We know that 2 goes into both of those. So we can look at it as 3 sandwiches to 4 bottles, and we can use the colon form 3 colon 4, and also the fraction form 3 over 4. The third way we can compare these ratios is part to part in 2 different sets. So let's ask this question: what is the ratio of sandwiches that are in set 1 to footballs in set 2? Go ahead and pause the video now and come up with your answer. Now make sure you simplify your answer. We know if we use the word to, there are 3 sandwiches to 2 footballs. And so we knew when we counted them, there were 6 sandwiches in set 1 and 4 footballs in set 2. And so when we simplified, it comes out to 3 sandwiches to 2 footballs. You can write it in colon form, 3 colon 2, and in fraction form, 3 over 2. And our last way we're going to compare these ratios is whole to whole in different sets. So let's ask this question: what is the ratio of items in set 1 to items in set 2? Go ahead and pause the video now and record your answer. So once again, make sure you simplify your answer. We know that for every 7 items in set 1, there are 5 items in set 2. So when we counted, we came up with 14 items to 10 items. And when we simplify, we got 7 items to 5 items. And we can use the colon form 7:5 or the fraction form 7/5. So this concludes our lesson using ratios to compare quantities. And you can see 2 links below. The first one is using ratios in word problems. So you can go to IXL AA.2 and the link is there. And if you want to get more help with the definitions for this lesson, you can use the Quizlet that I developed using the link below. Thanks again for listening and watching using ratios to compare quantities.